What's up guys, this is Saiyan here coming at you with another Dragon Ball CCG deck profile, and today we're having a look on another unexpected strength deck, um, kind of infusing it with the Ginyu Force deck that I've been trying to crack for so many years. Obviously I probably have at least two different versions of Ginyu Force up on the channel. This time we're taking a different approach, so let's have a look at the deck. Alright, so first of all, I'm actually just gonna start with the effect card that we're building the deck around, which of course if you have watched my previous Unexpected Strength deck profile, you will know it's Mr. Beefy Master Roshi here. This card is still fantastic. I keep discovering new and new ways how to really use this card. It fits into any deck, obviously the cost being 2 generic chi, and it comes down very early in the game. Gives any of our warriors that only have a special ability and absolutely no effect text, +1/+1 for uh, 4 turns basically, with a time limit of 3. If you can get 1 down, sweet. If you get 2 down, we can go into looking at some ridiculous levels of aggro. In this particular deck, however, we are looking at basically a mono alien deck with just this little bit of an earth splash, but this is significantly going to increase the power that Ginyu Force lacks on its own. Now, with Ginyu Force being a thing, obviously we need to start with King Cold. We are actually, even though the deck is a Ginyu Force deck, it's a Ginyu Force deck only in disguise. Technically, it is a Frieza family deck. And you may have seen my deck profile for just the mono alien good stuff. This is exactly the same turn 0 lineup as you can see there. So 3 King Cold, 3 Raspberry, they're both Frieza family. Obviously King Cold also serves as a search engine for any one of our Friezas. We are actually running the Frieza chain here as well, I should say, very importantly. And Raspberry is just a really good zero drop Frieza family, even for the UFO landings we're running as well. So this is our turn 0 drop, 8 cards. Leading us to turn 1, we are rocking 2 of the Ghost Snapper cards. I call this Ghost Snapper because it's got the backup. It can come back from our chi, which just obviously it is funny because it does coincide with the abridged storyline. But I love this Snapper. This Snapper is a solid card. Just really high. That 4/0 for a turn 1 warrior is amazing. It is both Saiyan and Frieza family, so it does a lot of things. Comes with backup and also has a really cool effect when it comes to play. Now Nappa doesn't get the plus of Unexpected Strength, nor does King Cold, but Raspberry does. Raspberry is a complete vanilla, so if you drop Raspberry turn 0, okay, well, drop the Unexpected Strength turn 1, guy will be a 3/2. Even injured, it's going to be a 2/2, which is very solid actually. A good little buff there. And of course, Old Guy is also not a vanilla, so Unexpected Strength's not going to work with Old Guy. We're skipping turn 2. No, we're not actually. We are running the starter deck Friezas. This is quite an interesting choice, but it actually only has Evolution, which is a special ability. It has no effect text. So when this guy comes down with Unexpected Strength, it's going to come down as a 4/4, which is ridiculously strong. And that's what realistically drove me to try and work out a deck with the Frieza chain with Unexpected Strength, and trying to benefit as much of Unexpected Strength as we can. If you go down into the Frieza chain, it's not only the starter Frieza that will get the buff, we will also get the buff onto the second form Frieza. This guy becomes a 6/4, and even though obviously injury stats are ridiculously bad for the second form, remember we are still running King Cold, which can heal this guy, no problem. Even if King Cold does go in for a chump block, if he survives that, it's got a strategy valid to heal one of the Friezas or coolers in play. So not all is lost if you do get a heavy hit on the second form. Beautifully working into the hands of Unexpected Strength. The third form Frieza is also a vanilla, only has the special ability of obviously Fierce 1 and evolution to final form Frieza, making basically the whole of our Frieza lineup up until the third form a very, very good recipient of Unexpected Strength. And of course, the main reason, of course, why you want to run the Frieza chain, final form Frieza. Now, this guy is not going to get the benefit of Unexpected Strength. However, what we do need to think about is if we do drop our Unexpected Strength early game, what are we going to do late game when we have burned up all our buffs? Well, that's where final form Frieza comes in. And if he comes down on his own, this is literally just there to protect us bringing out the big guy. And bringing out the big guy should be, I always say this, but it should be fairly easy. Obviously, we do have 3 King Codes. We can also recycle with the 2 Old Kai. And we're also running, obviously, the Ultimate Transformation as well. So Final Form does not get the buff of Unexpected Strength, but it's not a problem. It's just a super powerful card on its own. You know, this might be the one that cracks it. I don't know. So I said we had two drops with the starter deck Frieza. For turn 3 we have 2 Jace. This is another vanilla that gets the buff of Unexpected Strength. All it has is Ally Berter, so he will also get the buff. And for a turn 3 drop, 3/2, 1/2 Jace is mediocre. But if we buff it and he comes down as a 4/3, a 2/3, he's actually a fairly serious support warrior for the deck. Remember, we can also evolve into second form on turn 3, so we have the capability to start going up the chain there, and also to drop Jace. For turn 4, we can just either drop the second form, or if we already have the second form down, we can actually evolve into the third form in turn 4, which is a really, really cool skip. To get the third form down in turn 4 is ridiculously good. But turn 4 is a big turn for us. We definitely want to get a warrior down. So we are running 2 Raccoon. Raccoon gets the benefit of Unexpected Strength as well. So already we've got Raspberry. We will have 1 Frieza that can be played, I guess, the buff. Jace and Raccoon all get the buff of the Unexpected Strength. I also included 1 copy of Berter, and this is basically the core of our Ginyu Force deck. These 3 guys. We are not running the special fighting pose event because it comes down too late. Unexpected Strength does what we want that to do, is basically buffing our guys so they become better supporters, except this card does it in turn 1, that card does it turn 5, basically rendering that card pretty useless. It's difficult to survive and just wait for that card to turn the game around for you. Will not do that. There are realistically 2 reasons why it is worthwhile running Ginyu Force, and one of them is Captain Ginyu himself, and the second one is the technique card Raccoon Bomber, which basically gives any of our Ginyu Force guys +4/+0. Naturally, we are running 2 Captain Ginyus. He embodies the Ginyu Force, obviously, but his ability is his special ability is not there because he doesn't have any, but his valid effect is very powerful. As long as we can get 2 of these guys down, ideally, any 2. We're not really picky, but remember that Berter and Jace, if Berter is down, Jace gets Ally, so then you can have a team of 4 with that. But this guy gets Thresh 1 and he gets +1/+1. This is a valid ability, so even if he's injured, he will still have Thresh 1, and he will still have 4/1, 5/2 basically with the effect active. So we probably want to pay some emphasis in trying to keep these guys alive if we want to then curve into a Captain Ginyu. But again, you're not necessarily dependent on getting Captain Ginyu out. That's what we got the Frieza line in, so you have some additional power. And all these Friezas are really good, both as the lead of the team. They're also very good as support, even without Unexpected Strength, but you're gonna get the buff on up to the third form. So this is our character lineup. That's all we really have space for. Obviously, getting the Frieza chain, as you can see, on its own takes up 8 slots, which is quite a lot. So you kind of banking on final form coming down. If you don't, you still have Ginyu and the Ginyu Force guys to get you out of trouble. What's really sweet here is that obviously these cards are quite superficial. Unexpected strength actually makes them quite a player. Okay, so with the characters being sorted out, let's just then go and look at our extra card lineup. So we talked about the 3 unexpected strength effects of events, even don't need any more thing to be said, and 3 UFO landings. Obviously, basically all our cards except the 2 old guy are Frieza family. So we're guaranteed to hit UFO landing. There is no... I've run into some slight nags with the mono alien good stuff deck where it's difficult to either... because I kind of planned for a lot of different scenarios. I got 3 cards that are Cooler Force, I got 3 Cooler Family even, I got 3 cards that are Saiyans. I think I have 4 Frieza family cards in there, but it's quite difficult to get them all down on the field at the same time, so I might have to actually tweak that a little bit. Nevertheless, you're basically guaranteed to get UFO landing online as soon as you play it. If you don't have it online, don't play it. It's worthwhile, obviously, keeping that extra time in your hand. That's it for events. We're not an event heavy deck, but we're a very, very, very pump heavy deck. As I mentioned, the only other reason why we really want to consider running Ginyu Force is Raccoon Bomber. Up until set 5, this was the best pump technique that you can play in action. Just purely, the only reason why it outweighs, obviously, Evil Cannon is that extra +1 attack power. But because it can only be used with Ginyu Force warriors, you have to build around it. So even though we got, you know, a lot of power in the card, there's also a lot of power negated because the warriors are, well, mediocre that can use the card. Not that much with unexpected strength though, so we're just a pretty much straight up beef deck. Let's go in, let's hit him for as much as we can. We don't have any other shenanigans. That's what we're trying to do. Beef our guys up and draw cards. So with that theme, obviously if you are building Alien, you must include 3 powerful heritage. There's no other way around it, realistically. Powerful heritage, even with the 1 Nappa, and Nappa can greatly benefit off powerful heritage, of course, getting that additional +2/+0. But even just in general, for 2 Chi to get +3/+0, even on that, it's on par with Evil Cannon, except obviously the turn cost. Evil Cannon is a turn 2 cost, this is a turn 3. Still very much, it must be in the mono alien deck, regardless. We do run 2 Ultimate Transformation. I keep saying this, if you can save up Ultimate Transformation before for basically going into Final Form Frieza, if you can, you know, search for Final Form Frieza with this guy and then evolve into it from the 3rd form, you get that +1/+1, you get that growth coin, obviously that +1/+1 coin, and then your final form will be an 8/5, which is... It's ridiculously strong, and obviously toughness, fierce 2, also gives -2/-2 to all opposing warriors with turn cost 3 or less, which is quite a lot actually. Turn cost 3 or less, obviously that's you know, anything Zangia and below, which is quite significant realistically. So it can just OP out a lot of defense decks. Chump blocking becomes an ultimate victory for you basically, which is very, very, very strong. So we got the 2 Ultimate Transformation. I don't recommend running 3. It's probably just going to end up being stuck in your hand if you run 3, or you're going to charge it to Chi. You want to see probably 1 throughout the game, and with the UFO landings, there is a good amount of statistics on your side that you're going to be able to draw into any one of the 2. And last but not least, just so we obviously show we're not fucking around here, I've tried to make realistically the most streamlined deck here. We have won the OTC, as any deck really should. I really just wanted to bring the best potential out of this deck. You can see it's super streamlined. We're only really doing two things here, and and we want to do both. It's getting our Ginyu Force Warriors down so we can then get into Captain Ginyu and get that effect going, and we want to get onto the Frieza chain, and we want to get that obviously up to final form. If we don't see unexpected strength, yes, the deck will have a more difficult time, but with this amount of pump and a lot of search, a lot of draw. Now remember, if you get stuck, something happens, not a problem, you can go and search for second, third and final form with this as well. You cannot search for the turn 2 Frieza, because this is looking for a card that has a form in its name. So you're not going to get the turn 2 Frieza of this card. That's what we got King Coldin for. But if you get the cards right, again, it's very much as with any deck, starting hand dependent, but it can curve out quite nicely. Truth of the matter is, I haven't managed to get any testing done. We've just had, things come in and about. We didn't have time to sit down and test this quite much, like at all basically. But once I get testing done, I'm probably gonna put a comment down below to just give you guys some idea as to how it went. But I said this before, and I probably don't really want to repeat myself, but I have some high hopes for this deck. So we shall wait and see. I hope you like the idea. You might want to pick it up yourself. If you do try this deck out, let me know in the comments below how it went for you. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Share it with a friend who likes Dragon Ball. Until next time, peace out, YouTube.